Hello everyone, welcome to one of the Patreon vote reveal videos. We have finished Death Howl. It was very fun, and now we have 5 new games to look at and see which one we are playing. So, first off, we have The Surge, the Souls-like, that's more like sci-fi based. Like I've mentioned before, this one has like a limb destruction mechanic, I remember. I remember very little of The Surge, but I remember the limb destruction mechanic, and that's mostly it. I don't think I've seen The Surge 2 at all, but I think I saw a little bit of a playthrough of The Surge 1, as I've mentioned before. Just a tiny bit, I think, and I was not watching it very closely. It was kind of just something I had on at one point to just look at occasionally, but yeah, Souls-like's fun time. Star of Providence, a top-down action shooter with procedurally generated elements for a large abandoned facility in search of incredible power, fighting dangerous foes and gaining new weapons and upgrades as you progress. This, to me, looks like a shmup version of, like, mini-shoot adventures, and it's clearly, like, GBA-inspired, I would think. This looks like GBA to me. GBA, or, like, I guess it could be, like, just Game Boy. No, probably maybe a little bit too detailed for just Game Boy, so probably like a GBA aesthetic, or Game Boy aesthetic, but you know, like not totally accurate to Game Boy. But this one is a roguelike, so I'm not totally sure how long this one would be. As far as roguelikes go, I feel like hitting like credits is usually pretty quick, which is probably what I would aim for. But I'm not like totally sure I would do like a full roguelike playthrough of a game, because like I'm thinking of like other roguelikes that I've played, like a full roguelike playthrough of like Slay the Spire 2, for example. I would probably get a single win with each character and then just like not bother with ascensions, probably. But you would want to fight like the, like once it gets to the updated point where there's like a new boss or something like that. Usually those require high ascensions, so I don't know. Roguelikes are a difficult one to figure out like the playthrough of, because roguelikes can either be very short or very long, depending on if you absolutely want to do every single thing in them. Like, I'm trying to think of the roguelikes I've actually done playthroughs of on the channel. I know I did Hades 1 at one point, and yeah, that one got interesting, because at some point I just stopped showing the earlier phases of the runs and just started showing like the last area and the boss fight, and that was kind of how the roguelike worked there. So a roguelike playthrough would be interesting to figure out, and like I said, it probably would be on the shorter side. And this one is actually a roguelike, unlike Death Howl, which I thought was a roguelike at the beginning, but it was not. It was more like a single-player sort of thing. So that is Star of Providence. I like the art; it's very cute. I'm always a sucker for nice pixel art. So then we have Faerun, specifically Faerun 1. So this was another one that would be an incredibly short one. We'd be having a vote again very fast. So yeah, Zelda-like. Would be pretty, similar to Elementalis right now, similar vibes, although I remember remarking, oh wow, this one has a shmup in it? But yeah, that's Faerun, and then we have 2 options over here, Void Terrarium ++, the game where you're in a little terrarium and you move around and everything and solve puzzles and all that. And then we have Alan Wake 2. Which, I mean, we just played Control, so we would kind of know what this is all about. Would be more horror-based, I think. So, you know. Those are our 5 options. So we can go ahead and hop into the results now. Hopefully I just hid that from all of you. But, alright. I'm going to start at the bottom. So, Void Terrarium ++ with 1 vote. The Surge with 2 votes, Faerun 1 with 2 votes, Alan Wake with 3 votes, and Star of Providence with 7 votes. So we will be playing Star of Providence, and this one will definitely be a very short playthrough, I think. Well, I can't say definitely, because I do need to see what all I need to do to see, like, most content. Like, I think of completion and roguelikes like sometimes completion means like beating every single challenge with every single card, with every single character, you know, if I'm thinking of like deck builders. And that's not something I would do, but I would want to see like all bosses, all fights, definitely beat the game like fully at least once. Maybe not do it with every single character, but also maybe do it with every single character. I don't know. Like I said, figuring out a stopping point for roguelikes is always interesting, but I'm sure I'll be able to get a satisfying spot to finish together. But yeah, Star of Providence is the one that won. I think for the longest time, The Surge was in second place. And then Alan Wake slowly passed it, but as far as I remember, ever since the beginning, Star of Providence was always in first place, wasn't budging. So, yeah. And we'll be having a new vote probably relatively quickly. It's also dangerous for me with roguelikes because I do love roguelikes, so I might tend to play this one for longer periods. Which means, you know, longer episodes, but also means I would get through it really quickly. So we will probably be starting nominations, like, immediately, quite frankly. So, hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow with Star of Providence.